Hello and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, July 21, 2014. I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Linden backs Vanessa Kissoon. Granger's elitist leadership style heavily criticized by PNCR members. GWI supervisor stabbed to death by reputed wife. Teixeira says AFC stirring up trouble. UG may consider offering petroleum engineering degree. Best roadman remanded for assault and new asphalt plant commissioned in quarantine. Now for the news in detail. The People's National Congress Reform leader David Granger came in for heavy criticisms earlier today after Lindeners voiced their dissatisfaction with the manner in which he's managing the affairs of the party. Swatlana Marshall reports.
The Linden People's National Congress Reform Committee today bashed the leader of the opposition, David Granger, over his handling of the Vanessa Kissoon saga. According to Leslie Gonzalez, Granger has violated the rules of the committee through his actions to suspend the Region 10 representative.
The argument by Mr. Granger that this issue is serious, as such, a decision was taken by him to suspend Ms. Kissoon does not apply to her since she is not an employee. Ms. Kissoon is a member of the party and owns a piece of the party just like Mr. Granger. As such, any decision to suspend her has to come after an investigation has been conducted and the member found guilty.
Based on the argument levied against the Central Executive Committee, the Linden PNCR Committee has advised Kissoon not to appear before the Disciplinary Committee. According to Gonzalez, the committee is comprised of a group of biased persons.
Those comprising the committee are Mr. Alan Monroe, who is the chairman, and he happens to be Mr. Granger's neighbor, Mr. Lance Carberry, the political advisor to the leader, Ms. Malika Ramsey, Mr. Christopher Jones, and Ms. Cheryl Sampson, employees of Congress Place. All these persons are members of the CEC and have voted supporting the leader's decision to suspend Ms. Kissoon. And further, the act of supporting the leader at the CEC disqualifies all of the named persons to be impartially part of this affair.
The Linden Committee is calling for the David Granger appointed members to be removed and replaced with 3 representatives from Region 10, including Gonzalez, Latoya Williams, and the Vice Regional Chairman, Maurice Butters.
The PNCR Linden, whilst wishing that this issue be addressed, some degree of sanity and level-headedness is of the view that Congress Place wants to get at Ms. Kissoon at all costs. We are aware that Ms. Kissoon is a very hard worker, is responsible for the recruitment and continuation of the membership to the party of over 800 persons. We are also aware that the leader and the General Secretary continue to give Ms. Sandra Adams the credit for the work done by Ms. Kissoon. To be involved in denying the facts about membership recruitment brings into focus the depth some leaders will go to sideline some members.
Bishop Mohammed now reports that a supervisor attached to the Guyana Water Incorporated GWI was on Sunday evening stabbed to death by his reputed wife during an argument. Let's find out more in this report.
4 months shy of his 39th birthday, Curtis McKinnon of Lot 12 Planting Walkpool Drawing, West Bank, Demerara, was stabbed once to the back of his head by the mother of his children at their home at about 22 hours 15 on Sunday evening. The man was rushed to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where he died while receiving medical attention. The suspect, Nicole Joseph, also called Nikki, is presently in police custody at the Vreeden Hoop police station. Based on information received, the victim recently found out that the woman was having an outside affair and confronted her about the allegation on the night he was fatally stabbed. The couple has been together for the past 4 years, and their union brought forth 2 children. But Joseph had 4 other children from previous relationships. Kevin McKinnon, brother of the dead man, told Evening News what he knew of his brother's death.
She called me and told me that she stabbed my brother and he's at the hospital. And by the time I get there, he already died. That's
But did she say why she stabbed him or so on?
No, she didn't say. He was lying on the bed, blood, froth out his mouth. I didn't look because I was so traumatized. I didn't look. I just keep crying all the time.
The aggrieved brother Ford stated that even if his brother was having problems at home, he would not have told the family.
He's quiet. He just keep to himself. He wouldn't tell nobody problem. Even if he got problem, he wouldn't tell nobody.
He described his brother as a very hard-working person who was quiet and humble. His body is at the Ezekiel Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem examination. The police are continuing their investigations. Bishar Mohammed, Evening News.
Meanwhile, a 64-year-old man was today charged with simple larceny when he appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Oswald Norton was remanded by Chief Magistrate Priya Sinarayan Bihari after it was alleged that on May 14, he stole jewelry valued at $190,000 and a sum of $13,000 in cash at border. Norton pleaded guilty to the charge and told the court that he was willing to pay back for the stolen jewelry. He will make his second appearance tomorrow for sentencing. The government says that the threats of no confidence are nothing more than the Alliance for Change's way of stirring up trouble within the populace. Alexis Rodney reports.
Presidential Advisor on Governance Gail Teixeira says that the Alliance for Change appears undecided about how it will pursue its claims that government made unconstitutional withdrawals from the Consolidated Fund.
They're trying to create hype, they're trying to create confusion in the minds of people, and to be able to show that they have power. The fact that they're using the power under the wrong article of the Constitution, for many of the Guyanese citizens, they're not aware of that. And so this is what I think is intimidation politics, bullying, and therefore trying to call bluff. And the government is saying, first of all, you have a right, you can go ahead. Two, the grounds on which you're doing it are baseless because the Constitution provides for this, and we're boosted by the Chief Justice ruling. What more do you want?
Teixeira contended that the party, by way of its threats, are trying to instill the fear of an election in the Guyana populace. She said that the AFC's behavior is downright baffling.
Their behavior is absolutely reckless and extremely hurtful to the Guyanese people. The fact that they have, for the last 2 weeks, been talking about this, and in fact, some of the reports have been absolutely confusing. They're going to the police, they're then going to the courts, then they're going to bring a no-confidence motion, then they're going to write the president. Well, they seem to have decided that the recourse for them was to bring a letter to the president. And so we are saying that they have a right to do this by the Constitution. We are not in any way saying that they don't have such right, because they do. However, we feel that the grounds on which they want to bring the government down are totally baseless.
She further defended the actions of the Finance Minister, Dr. Ashni Singh, while noting that the Constitution of Guyana gives the minister the authority to make withdrawals from the National Treasury given the prevailing circumstances.
The Constitution 2183 makes it clear that the Minister of Finance can proceed to spend money in what is statements of excess for matters that there has been no appropriation or there's not sufficient appropriation, and therefore he's in his right to do that. So although they're quoting Article 217, they're not quoting Article 2183, which allows the Minister of Finance.
Reporting for the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
In this report, you'll hear that an entity has made a timely contribution to the University of Guyana as it continues celebrations to mark its 50th anniversary. Shania Singh reports.
In keeping with the commitment they made a year ago, the members of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, on Thursday made an anniversary donation of $355,000 to the University of Guyana, which recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. The donation was received by the university's Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Paloma Mohammed, who expressed gratitude to the members of the chamber. She said that the donation will aid in the publication of a coffee table booklet and the pictorial history of the university for the past 50 years.
That publication is going to be sold, and it will actually feed into the University of Guyana's endowment fund, because the University of Guyana, unlike UWI and many other universities in the world, has no endowment fund. And so if you want to do something big, like create a library or to build a student center or something, the funds have to come from the operational funds, and that does not work well because there's competition for those funds. So we're very, very, very grateful.
President of the GCCI, Lance Hines, said that it is important to support the university, which is a pillar of Guyana's development. Dr. Mohammed added that they are hoping to make a profit of $10 million from the publication, which will be put into an endowment fund that will be launched with the publication of that book. Shania Singh for the Evening News.
Meanwhile, the University of Guyana Registrar Vincent Alexander has said that a tertiary institution may be considering offering a degree program in petroleum engineering once there is a clear demand for it. Alexis Rodney reports.
The university officials said that the tertiary institution has a responsibility to the nation and may at some point offer the program. There have been numerous talks about Guyana's high chances of finding oil, with a number of private oil companies coming on board to feel out their prospects. However, so far there have not been any successes.
Certainly, as the industry comes on stream and as there is clear demand for the skills, we would move into the area of engineering so that we can provide the manpower to work in that industry. Because our position is that we must be responsive to national needs. So once there's a real need, indeed we should move towards meeting that need.
Companies such as Repsol, Darko, Esso and long-standing CGX, the Canadian oil and gas exploration company, have been on Guyana's doorsteps hoping to find oil. Alexander said the institution is, however, cognizant that the government has plans to establish a technical level school through the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment. He said, too, that the university already offers a program in geology since there is a relevance between geology and petroleum exploration. According to him, the geology program could be adjusted to deal with more exploration for oil, pointing out that whenever there is a clear demand for the program, the university will go all out to meet that need. For the Evening News, I'm Alexis Rodney.
Following the vicious murder-suicides that occurred on early Sunday morning, in which a spurned lover who later committed suicide killed 2 gays, some members of the gay community are blaming the MMC security personnel for the murders. Here is why.
A small protest consisting of various members of the gay community ensued today in front of the MMC Security Force office on the East Coast as the protesters blamed the security force for the murder of their colleagues which occurred on Sunday morning. Dead are Carla Sinclair, 24, also known as Tyra Banks of Virgin Nugent, Jason John, 23, also known as Jada of Lamaha Street, Albertown, and Samuel Bristol of Nabakalis. It was alleged that Bristol attacked and stabbed Sinclair and John in Leopold Street at about 1:45 a.m. on Sunday morning. It was alleged that Bristol attacked and stabbed Sinclair and John on Leopold Street at about 1:45 a.m. on Sunday morning before setting himself on fire. Sinclair, however, ran a few blocks away to Lombard Street near ARK Enterprises, where he succumbed to his injuries. It was alleged that Bristol had attacked Sinclair and John after an MMC vehicle dropped him off in Leopold Street and pointed him in the direction of the duo. The protesters are now asking the security force to give the names of the persons responsible for Bristol's drop-off so that true and complete justice can be given.
We saw this man when this man came to the corner. And when this man came to the corner, that corner is a very serious corner because we do not encourage things. That could not have happened by the cathedral. Maybe that side it would have happened at High Street, but not by the cathedral. Because we have a brutal team that attacks anybody that gets viciously out of way with us. When this man came, this man passed us, he go up the road, he saw us, he know who's who, and he know who he would make them kind of things with. Anyway, he saw a weak one who resembled the same individual, which is Twin Slice. He saw the individual that looking complacent just like Twin Slice, and he ended up throwing gasoline at the individual, but it did not catch the individual because those homosexuals are very good at athletes. So after we see them, we give chase. We have chased this man till the Strand Cinema. When we chase this man till the Strand Cinema, the MMC pick this man up from there, which is not their duty. Their duty is to serve and to protect the people and properties that live in charge of the business, people that live in charge of their business. Not homosexual business or men that having sex with them.
Speaking with the Evening News, Romario Lovell, also known as Thin Slice, related that he was the initial target of the attack by Bristol.
I was right behind the church sitting, and he passed and he saw me. He said, "Okay, so I catch you." I said yes. So my friend got up, pick up a bottle, and 2 of them surrounded me. And they tell me, sit there, don't move. After that, he point out one of them, that is Prince. And he turned and tell her, "I'm going to come back for you and damage you." He left and he went down Main Street. I say he was maybe going home or something. because we didn't have anything more to study. After that, an hour and a half later, I got a call that my man nearly killed one of my friends. So I left and I ran down Robin King, and she was explaining to me and telling me the story. So we all went to the station, and there we went, and we got a call that 2 of our friends had died.
For the evening news, Jalicia Pinder.
Join us after the break for more news. This is the This is the evening news. Welcome back. In the courts, 24-year-old Delon Harris of 91 Best Road today appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Magistrate Faith Magusti after he was charged with assault. The charge alleged that on January 1, 2013, he unlawfully and maliciously wounded Cedric Bradshaw with intent to maim, disfigure and cause grievous bodily harm. The men are both members of the Guyana Fire Service, and on the day in question, they got into an argument which resulted in Harris assaulting Bradshaw. The matter was first called on March 26 before Magistrate Judy Latchman. He was sentenced to 48 months in jail. A Partnership for National Unity APNU today called on the government to implement stricter road regulations. Details in this report.
While reiterating its no confidence in the ability of Home Affairs Minister Clement Rohi to discharge his duties, the APNU today called for better traffic laws. The party's leader David Granger noted that far too many lives are lost as a result of inadequate traffic laws. The coalition in a release reiterated its call for stricter methods of enforcement and safer roads, contending that far too many Guyanese have lost their lives on the poorly lit and inadequately patrolled Susdike-Linden Highway. Granger also reflected on the amount of money spent each year to treat accident victims. He said that all of this resource could be saved and could be used otherwise. He reiterated his call for the Home Affairs Minister dismissal in light of the ongoing problems. Shania Singh for the Evening News.
The Guyana Police Force says that the Guyana Revenue Authority is being reluctant to hand over information from a recent shooting incident. The details in this report.
The Guyana Police Force says that 2 men are now in custody following a brazen exchange of gunfire between Guyana Revenue Authority officials and alleged smugglers. But the police are contending that the GRA is not being forthcoming with information requested. The 2 men, one whom has been identified as Hiralal Motilal, also called Jiga Hari, are expected to make a court appearance at the Mahaika Magistrates Court this week. They could be slapped with several charges, including smuggling and unlawful discharge of firearms. According to information received, the GRA employees maintain that Motilal led a team of gunmen who attacked them while they were executing their duties. The attack reportedly stemmed from the interception of 3 minibuses containing 150 boxes of chicken suspected to be smuggled into the country. The GRA ranks requested the documents for the chicken, which could not have been produced. For the Evening News, Jalicia Pinder.
Although school is closed for the August vacation, the school boards of the top high-ranking schools in Guyana and the Education Ministry are getting prepared to offer the 5 new generation subjects in the new school term. The subjects will be taught to students preparing to sit the 2015-2017 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE. These subjects are agricultural science, entrepreneurship, performing arts, physical education, and sport and tourism. While some schools are ready to take on the challenge, others are not yet prepared. The Deputy Chief Education Officer of Development, Dudmati Singh, said teachers of the schools offering the subjects were trained to deliver the new curriculum. More news still ahead. Stay tuned. This is Steve. This is Evening News. Welcome back. Preparations are continuing for this year's big emancipation celebrations in the National Park. Jalicia Pinder reports.
Director of the African Cultural and Development Association, Eric Phillips, stated that the association is in the final stages of preparations for this year's Emancipation Festival. He noted that planning had started some 3 months ago. Under this year's theme, Reparations, Broken Chains, Golden Dreams, in recognition of recapturing the indomitable spirit of our ancestors to demand justice and their rights, Phillips mentioned that the preps for international and local performers are in place. What sets this year's celebration apart from previous celebrations is the fact that ACDA will be collaborating with the Tutorial High School as it celebrates its 75th anniversary. The day's program will feature several cultural displays from past and present members of the high school and its alumni. Cross Color Productions will produce a show as part of the day's events called Center Stage, which will feature acts from about 25 different performers. Emancipation 2014 also features display from the country chosen to be depicted this year, Angola, and also Queenstown, Essequibo, which was the first village in Essequibo to be bought by ex-slaves. Phillips promises that this year's celebration will be a spectacular event as the history of Africa is put on display. For the evening news, Jalicia Pinder.
25 top-performing students of East and West Berbice who sat the National Grade 6 Assessment 2014 were honored by overseas-based Guyanese Dr. Tulsi Dayal Singh. At a simple presentation ceremony held at the Lions Club Den in New Amsterdam, the students were presented with school and stationery supplies. Dr. Singh, who hails from Texas, USA, is also a Berbician. He implored the students to continue to strive for excellence. He noted he is grateful to be able to give back to the country and community and hope to continue collaboration with the Lions Club. Opposition leader David Granger has denied removing a controversial photo from his Facebook page which contained a criminal element. The details in this report.
Earlier in this week, a photo of slain gunman Kevin Fields and leader of the opposition David Granger surfaced on Facebook. The photo went viral and several questions were being raised by Guyanese about Granger's perceived relations to the gunman and other criminal elements. The photo was then deleted in haste after the gunman's death. But today, David Granger denied removing the photo. He contended that he does not manage the Facebook profile and hence is not responsible for the removal.
You have to ask the person who removed it why they did it. I don't know why it was removed. I don't know who took the photograph, I don't know who posted it, I don't know who removed it.
Fields was shot on Monday after he robbed a businessman on Sheriff Street. At the scene of the shooting, police had recovered a gun and matching ammunition. Subsequent perusal of the lad's social media profile revealed that he lived a questionable life. Reporting for the Evening News, Gomti Gangadin.
A more than $100 million modern asphalt plant was on Saturday evening commissioned in Berbice. The plant is the first of its kind in the ancient county and will serve to provide quality asphaltic concrete. It is a vision by Peter Lewis and family of Associated Construction Services. Present at the commissioning ceremony were Public Works Minister Robeson Ben, Minister within the Finance Ministry Juan Edgel, Member of Parliament Faisal Jafar Ali, PVP Executive Secretary Zulfikar Mustafa, and Regional Vice Chairman Bhupal Jagru, among others. According to Joseph Lewis, the brother of Peter Lewis, the plant is fully computerized and has the ability to produce 60 tons per hour, while noting that it is their vision to reach 120 tons per hour in the near future and at the same time provide employment for many Berbicians. He also thanked the government for providing opportunities for investors. Join us after a break for your regional, international and Brit reports. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is the Evening News. Jamaica's Water Minister Robert Pickersgill has warned the country to brace for worsening drought conditions as the dry spell continues. In an address to the nation late on Sunday, Pickersgill said the inflows into several large reservoirs were well below normal and the country did not receive the amount of rainfall for the usually wet months of May and June. He warned that a crisis could develop if the dry spell continues into mid-August. Internationally, a local vigilante leader has told the BBC that Nigeria's militant Islamists are in control of the key town of Damboa in the northeastern Nigeria. He said the vigilante force defending the town fled on Sunday, and Islamic group Boko Haram's black flag is now flying over Damboa. The vigilante leader added that at least 40 people were killed when Boko Haram attacked Damboa on Friday. The group has been fighting since 2009 to create an Islamic state in Nigeria. In April, it sparked international outrage by abducting more than 200 girls from their boarding school in Chibok in Borno State, like Damboa. In case you've just joined us, you're watching the evening news. We now take a look at your bridge reports. The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed from 8 hours 30 on Tuesday, July 22, 2014 for a period of 1.5 hours. And the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed from 8 hours on Tuesday, July 22, 2014 for a period of 1.5 hours. Join us after the break for sports, sponsored by MarkWop. This is the evening news. Welcome back. This is the evening news. Now for a look at sport, but first the headlines. Talawas pip Amazon Warriors in thriller. Amazon Warriors confident despite defeat. 5th Jofford Boys Classic set for August 16 and 17. And Sharma bowls India to victory at Lords. Of course, our sportcast comes to the kind compliments of MarkWop.
We believe that everything worth building should be built just once. But that is why we build on culture, on trust, on integrity. We exist to do more, better, faster, safer. Your success depends on the foundation it's built on. Everything we do is meant to move you forward. MarkWop, let's build Guyana together.
Welcome back. Now for the details, we start off with some cricket news. A massive and colourful flag-waving crowd left the National Stadium crestfallen on Sunday night as defending champions, the Jamaica Talawas, ended the Guyana Amazon Warriors' winning streak in this year's Limacol Caribbean Premier League with a thrilling 4-run win. Lendl Simmons' stroke-filled unbeaten half-century could not take the Warriors over the line, finishing on 144 for 2 in response to the Talawas' 148 for 6, a total built on an attacking half-century from Chadwick Walton and a breezy 48 from Adam Voges. Let's take a look now at the highlights of the run chase.
Let's have a look at the highlights of the run chase. Started off really well. Jimmy Neesham picked up a boundary.
Yeah, they did. They batted well. Strong, good cricket shots. Simmons came straight in. Sixes, fours. Just great use of his feet. I love the way he moves around the crease. Uses the crease, makes the bowler think. They were in the chance then, the run rate was up. Neesham, once again, some poor fielding as well, always helps. And he fell to this one, hit it straight out of the middle, but straight to mid-on. Russell, good catch. After he's got one, he was away. And Miller just slipped one past, and for a moment they thought the keeper might knock the bails off, but it just took the outside edge of the off stump. Gale puts one down. Didn't quite, just got off balance. Maybe happy with that. And then Simmons kept going. Put him right in the game. Gave him a great shot tonight. Runs coming any way you'll take him. Maybe off the back of your bat as well. So it was great. They're the shots that he played. He loved the offside tonight. It was beautiful over cover, through gully. This one was nasty. Like full outside edge of the bat, straight into the grill. He retired hurt. Hopefully he's okay. And this man walked straight in. First ball, 6. Boom. Out of the ground. And then the last ball, he needed 6. Couldn't quite do it. They were too good on the night. Talawas, well done to Chris Gale and his team.
Yeah, it was just too challenging. 11 runs off the last over required. Some Warriors just couldn't quite get there, falling short by 4 runs. And there you go to the top of the table, picking up full points in this match against the Amazon Warriors. Both of them at the top with 6 points. Red Steel Tridents, well, they follow suit.
Meanwhile, coach Roger Harper and skipper Dinesh Ramdan say the Guyana Amazon Warriors are still a confident bunch despite losing to the Jamaica Tallawers in a close encounter on Sunday night. On the other hand, the Tallawers coach Mickey Arthur says his players stuck to the game plan. The details in this report. Speaking at a post-match press briefing on Sunday night, skipper Dinesh Ramdin said the fielding by the Amazon Warriors left much to be desired as they gave away some unnecessary runs. Despite the defeat, however, he was confident that the team will rebound in the coming games and make a serious challenge for a spot in the semi-finals.
I think in the bowling department we gave away a couple boundaries where were unnecessary. We fielded well last night. I think tonight we were not as up to standard as we would like to be. Could have saved 10 to 15 runs that could have made the difference in the match. At the end, the better team won in the end, and we could take a lot of confidence, a lot of positive out of this game. Someone's batted well, and young bowlers came through, but it's proven that we are beatable. But having said that as well, I prefer to lose one now rather than later down in the tournament, and we can just go from strength to strength. Yeah, we are still confident. We weren't badly beaten tonight. It was just a close game. We had beaten Trinidad here, and we went to Trinidad. We have beaten them there as well. They are a very good unit. They won the game in Antigua today. So it's going to be a very good match on Thursday night.
Coach Roger Harper said he is pleased with certain aspects of the Warriors game, and like Ramdin, is positive about the team's progress in the league.
The heartening thing for us is that even though there are areas we could improve on, we got pretty close. So that is very encouraging. Our batsmen, once again, we had to adjust. Anisha up the top, we got a start. We saw Simmons coming through, the skipper getting some runs. So there are things that we can build on, right? So we are happy with the way that the guys play, the effort. We're going to look at the areas where we think we can fine-tune and improve on and move forward.
Harper also had a few words for the fans who turned up in their numbers in all 3 days, displaying in no uncertain terms their unequivocal support for the Guyana Amazon Warriors.
I think from last year, we know the sort of support we get here in Guyana. The crowds, are always behind us. They turn up in large numbers. And we want to thank them for their support, and we look forward to making them proud as we go on throughout the tournament.
Meanwhile, Tallawers coach Mickey Arthur commended his players for sticking to the game plan, which he said was crucial to the eventual outcome of the match.
We tried to set ourselves up. Our whole game plan was trying to have wickets in hand, so we thought we could go at the end. Because history's shown that a lot of teams that have come here have lost wickets far too early, which meant that they couldn't accelerate in their last couple of overs. So our game plan was to obviously go hard at the power play, because we thought that was the best time to score, and then to go at 5 or 6 and over up until over 15 with wickets in hand. I thought they bowled really well though at the back end of the innings, because we set the platform up. I thought from there we probably should have got 160, but we thought 150 was very defendable.
The Guyana Amazon Warriors now head to Trinidad and Tobago, where they take on the Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel on Thursday at the Queen's Park Oval from 20 hours. The Tallawers, on the other hand, will come up against the Red Steel on Friday at noon in Trinidad. And while the on-field action was riveting during the Guyana leg of the Lima Call Caribbean Premier League, beyond the boundary was bursting with excitement, with the massive crowds showing their appreciation for the efforts of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. In what was a kaleidoscope of colours, Guyanese came in their numbers, fully decked out in the Amazon Warriors merchandise, including the iconic Warriors flag that transformed the stadium into a sea of yellow. For your viewing pleasure, here's a recap of what transpired at the weekend when the Amazon Warriors took on the St. Lucia Zouks and the Jamaica Tallawers.
Wave your hand, wave your hand, wave your hand from the Caribbean. Wave your hand, wave your hand, wave your hand from your #1. Yeah. This is how we play the game. This is how we play. And we gon' represent and show them who we stand for. So get up and unite for your team. We'll give the best we've got. Take it to the top. It's how we play. Every bat, every pitch, every part, every beer, every wicket, every soul. And the heart and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean blood. Well played from out our nation, to the team in a unification. When the stadium run bleach at the grandstand, and the meaning of beautification. It's how we play. Support your team, put on your color. Tough like stone, we not soft like butter. Them say them rough, we coming out rougher. So this year we have to be the winner. And the ladies 22-1. The vibes in the party stand. Road to the Caribbean. Put up your one, put up your one. The game is getting hotter. Take it now or never. Hit another 6, there's no way we can lose. This is who we are, what we live for. We can't get. We know we have no one. It's how we play.
Now some athletics news. The 5th annual Jefford Boys Track and Field Classic is set for August 16 and 17 at the Mackenzie Sports Club ground in Linden, where the country's top athletes set to display their talents. Details from Tristan Joseph, who attended the launch earlier today.
At a press conference held on Monday to launch the Boys Jefford Track and Field Classic, Director of the event, Colin Boyce, noted that the games have grown to the magnitude where Trinidad wants to bring a club. However, with the main aim of developing the clubs of Guyana, the organizers chose to give such a venture a bit more time. Boyce also confirmed that overseas-based Guyanese Cadicia Beard and Bernessa Thompson, along with overseas-based Surinamese Daniela Clark, will be a part of the meet, with the top prize being $600,000, a $100,000 increase. Events and sponsorship manager of Digicel, Gavin Hope, shared his views on the meet.
We have seen over the last 4 years that the track meet has grown significantly. We have seen a lot of Caribbean athletes coming and participating in this meet. Based on the understanding that we have, that is Digicel and the organizers of the meet, we expect a similar level of participation this year.
Ansi McCall's Smalta brand manager, Anjetta Hines, spoke of her aspirations for the event.
We've seen, as Gavin previously mentioned, we have seen the growth of this event and we know the potential that it has. It is my hope that one day, someday, it will be big as champs in Jamaica and we will see athletes coming out in their hundreds and supporters coming out in their thousands to support this event. That is our hope, because as it has been said, there is great potential.
Contract manager of Wartsila, Aaron Fraser, noted the reason for their continued support of the event.
What we've observed over the last couple of years is that the event continues to grow in stature, and it's an event that we are happy to be associated with. In some regards, it mirrors some of our company values of excitement, energy, and excellence. And like the two previous speakers, I would like to commend them for the effort and implore other corporate sponsors to come on board.
Meanwhile, an influx of other Caribbean athletes will be competing as part of individual events at the Games. That is scheduled for August 16th and 17th in Linden at the Mackenzie Sports Club ground.
Some international cricket news now. England crumbled to a 95-run defeat by India in the second test at Lord's to extend their winless run to 10 matches and increase the pressure on captain Alistair Cook. The hosts collapsed after lunch to a series of reckless shots and were bowled out for 223 to hand the tourists a 1-0 lead in the 5-match series. Joe Root, 66, and Moeen Ali, 39, gave England hope with a partnership of 101 to take them to 173 for 4, 146 runs short of the target. But after Moeen fell for the last ball before lunch, Matt Pryor, Ben Stokes and Root were all out to pull shots in a disastrous 14 minutes of self-destruction as Seema Ishant Sharma took 7 for 74, the best figures by an Indian bowler in England. And finally, England's captain Steven Gerrard, we're talking football now, has retired from international football after winning 114 caps. Gerrard, aged 34, won his first cap in a 2-0 win over Ukraine in 2000 and made his last England appearance in a 0-0 draw with Costa Rica at the 2014 World Cup. The Liverpool midfielder said, and I quote, "I have enjoyed every minute of representing my country. It's a sad day for me," end quote. Gerrard will now take on a high-profile ambassadorial role with the Football Association. He retires from international duty having scored 21 goals and played at 6 major tournaments. And with that, we've come to the end of sport, which is sponsored by Marcorp. And that's a wrap as well on the evening news for today, Monday, July 21, 2014. Of course, you can find these and many more stories in tomorrow's edition of the Guyana Times. And here's an invitation to join us in TVG Channel 28 and on Radio Guyana Inc. 89.3 in Essequibo, 89.5 in Georgetown Environs, and 89.7 in Berbice and Unicary, Suriname. Of course, you can follow the Lima Call CPL 2014 through all these mediums. On behalf of all of us here, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching.